I opened a credit card to help cover my mom's medical expenses. A few days later, I stumbled upon pictures of my sister lounging in Hawaii. When I asked her where she got the money, she just smirked. Thanks to your credit card. Don't worry, I only spent $100,000. I laughed, holding up my own card. My card only has $100. Did you check whose name is on it? That's when my mom reached into her purse and pulled out my gold card, the one I thought I lost last month. I'm Taran Ellis, 29 years old. And if you think this sounds familiar, keep watching. This isn't just about stolen money. It's about betrayal that tries to steal your identity. Here's how it began. Mom needed surgery. Nothing life-threatening, nothing cosmetic. Just standard hospital bills, prescriptions, and aftercare. She said, we just need a little help until Medicare kicks in. So, I opened a card with a modest limit under my name, carefully monitoring it. But that wasn't the card my sister used. No, she had my gold card, a high-limit one buried in paperwork I hadn't touched since college. I froze when Mom pulled it out. I thought it was mine, she said, her voice brittle like dry leaves. It has my name on it, I replied. She blinked. No apology. No remorse. That night, I checked the balance. $13,421.88. Every charge was luxury. Resorts, designer brands, flights. Then I traced the IP addresses. Every single purchase came from a beachside Airbnb in Maui. My sister had been flaunting it, geotagging herself in photos, cocktails in hand, practically daring me to notice. But she made one fatal mistake. She assumed the card was under my personal name. It wasn't. It was under my business. She just committed six-figure fraud against a registered LLC, with insurance and a lawyer on retainer. The gold card wasn't mine personally. It belonged to Ella's Social Strategies, the marketing consultancy I built from scratch. Real clients, real liability insurance, and a business account with fraud protection. Every cent she spent was now a legal matter. I closed the card, filed a report, and made a call I never imagined. To my corporate attorney, Maya Hensley. She didn't flinch. She didn't gasp. She just asked, civil or criminal? Both, I whispered. She nodded like I'd asked for oat milk in my coffee. Then she outlined the plan. Notify the issuing bank, document the fraud, compile every receipt, transaction, and geostamp. We would build a case strong enough to trigger a federal inquiry. The amount exceeded $50,000, twice over. Next came the messy part. I had to confront my sister. Me. Hey, just realized what you did. Hope that pina colada was worth it. Fraud Unit will be in touch soon. Her reply. 3 laughing emojis. Her, you wouldn't dare. We're family. The usual shield, family. Armor. Magic words meant to make theft feel sentimental. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I screenshotted her text, sent it to Maya. Perfect. Thanks for handing us motive, she replied. Later that night, Mom called. Her voice sharp, flat, not sick or frail. You need to let this go. It's just a card. I closed my eyes. No, Mom. It's my name. And soon, it'll be your name on the witness stand next to mine. The investigation moved fast. Maya submitted the fraud packet by Monday. The bank froze the charges. The insurance company opened a formal inquiry. By Wednesday, my sister's account was locked. She couldn't even buy a smoothie. Then the calls started. Blocked numbers, voicemails pretending to be concerned. But one cut deeper than the rest. Mom, you're ruining her life again, she snapped. She's your sister. She made a mistake. I stared at the ceiling. Stealing $100,000 isn't a mistake. It's a felony. She only did it because she thought you'd say no. I did say no, I whispered. She didn't care. After a pause, she threatened softly, unexpectedly. If you go through with this, the family will have to pick sides. Just like that, it was no longer about right or wrong. It was about loyalty. But family stopped meaning safety a long time ago. I opened a private folder I keep for when they forget. Screenshots, bank transfers I never got back. Messages showing I quietly paid for rent, tuition, bail, all because I was the responsible one. I selected the most damning evidence and sent it to Maya. We attached it to the fraud case, building a timeline, a history. This wasn't a single lapse. It was the latest chapter in a story called Use Turan Until She Breaks. That evening, I posted one sentence on my business's Instagram. Sometimes, the only way to mend something broken is to stop letting the people who broke it hold the repair tools. The messages kept coming, and that night, someone egged my car, leaving a cracked windshield. I filed a police report and immediately installed security cameras. The cracks in the glass spread outward like the truth itself, splintered, obvious, permanent. I didn't need direct proof to know who did it. My sister had always been too polished to dirty her own hands. She preferred to cause harm through influence. But I had receipts, and now I had footage. The cameras captured a shadow, a license plate. Wes sent it straight to law enforcement. From that point on, the quiet game was over. 2 days later, my sister was officially served. A formal fraud complaint, backed by corporate counsel, landed in her hands. The next morning, she appeared at my door. No knock, just arms crossed, sunglasses hiding any trace of shame like it was couture. "I can't believe you dragged this into court," she said. I cracked the door just enough for her to see my face. "I didn't drag anything." I said, "You charged your betrayal." She stepped forward. "You really want to destroy your own sister over money." And that's when it hit me. Money had nothing to do with it. It was entitlement. She didn't want cash, she wanted access to my work, my reputation, my resources. My identity was a tool for her. I didn't answer. I handed her a copy of the subpoena and said, "You have 10 days to respond, or it moves to court." Then I closed the door. She yelled, called me cold and selfish, but that night I slept better than I had in years. Choosing peace doesn't always mean avoiding conflict. Sometimes it means facing the war you've been pretending doesn't exist. And I was only getting started. Her silence after that was deafening. No texts, no threats, just the calm before the storm. While she pretended I didn't exist, my attorney gathered proof. Bank data, timestamps, IP logs, a flag login from her apartment the day she accidentally triggered the gold card. Ma even smiled when she saw it. That was the nail in the coffin. Then the second blow landed. The insurance company issued a formal response. Claim approved, full fraud protection enacted, charges refunded, my business account restored. But the case didn't disappear. Once insurance pays, the company can pursue the thief for restitution. And now they were. Not just me, them. She wasn't only facing her sister. She was facing a billion-dollar insurance provider. Suddenly, she remembered how to beg. At midnight, I found her email. "Please, Turan." She wrote like a martyr, claiming her life was falling apart, that she panicked over Mom's illness. Funny, didn't look panic sipping cocktails in Maui. She ended with, "If you drop the case, I'll pay you back. Swear on everything." I replied in one sentence, "Pay the insurance company. They own the debt now." No response until 2 hours later, Mom emailed. What kind of daughter ruins her own family to prove a point? I didn't reply, because what kind of mother lets one daughter rob the other and calls it loyalty? The story went public faster than I expected. Maybe a bank employee leaked it, maybe her guilt. All I knew was my name whispered at work, hers in headlines. Woman faces $100,000 fraud accusation after using sister's business card for Hawaiian vacation. Sunglasses on her head, cocktail in hand, still smug. Mom texted again. "You've embarrassed this family enough. Haven't you done enough damage?" I almost laughed. I opened a card for medical bills, and they turned it into chaos. The only thing I was guilty of was telling the truth. Maya called that night, lighter than usual. Insurance was pursuing restitution. I was financially clear, court attendance optional. I realized I didn't want revenge, I wanted peace. But peace wasn't silence anymore. Peace meant boundaries, legally protected, financially enforced, emotionally permanent. I would testify, not to punish, but to record the truth. Because someday someone might rewrite the story, painting her as the misunderstood sister and me as cruel. I wanted it on record. She lied. She stole. She smirked while doing it. I forgave, but didn't excuse. That night, I poured tea in the mug she gave me last Christmas, best sister ever. I dropped it in the trash. No slam, No tears, just let it fall quietly as all false things should. In that silence, I felt it, freedom. Court day was cold, not just the air, but the energy. She sat across from me, lawyer flanking her, fake humility in every gesture. No sunglasses, no selfies, just a beige sweater and a carefully chosen frown. She didn't meet my eyes. The judge asked routine questions. Maya handled most. But when the prosecutor offered me the floor, I stood. Not with anger, but clarity. I'm not here for revenge, I said. I'm here to reclaim my name. I explained the bills I paid, the card I opened for Mom. I showed the Hawaii photos, laughter louder than any apology. She didn't steal money, I said. She stole trust. She took my identity, my credit, wore it like a mask for a vacation. The courtroom stayed silent. I had spoken the betrayal instead of swallowing it. The ruling came swiftly. She would pay restitution to the insurance company. Assets monitored, new credit attempts flagged, legally bound, publicly documented, financially trapped. Outside the courthouse, she whispered, "Are you happy now?" I stopped. "I'm whole now," I said. "You think this makes you better than us?" I turned, met her gaze. "No, it just makes me free from you." Then I walked away. That night, I closed the last tab on my laptop. Fraud reports, bank statements, insurance claims, archived. Then I opened a new one. Boundaries do not share. Closure didn't come from court or payouts. It came from quiet choices. I blocked her number, deleted Mom's contact, not anger, necessity. Healing isn't for guests who set your house on fire. The weeks that followed were calm. No emergencies, no fake apologies wrapped in invitations. I hired a financial advisor, tightened business protocols, set alerts for every charge. Betrayal doesn't always wear a mask. It sometimes carries your last name. One afternoon, I passed a jewelry store. A gold bracelet caught my eye, simple mine. Bought with my card, my name on the receipt. As I slipped it on, I remembered Grandma's words. The people who love you shouldn't make you prove it. I understood now. Love isn't tested. It's revealed when sacrifice isn't needed. I walked home, bracelet light on my wrist, phone silent. At my door, I paused. No broken glass, no eggshells, real or emotional. Just space, peace, and a version of myself I hadn't met in years. Whole, unapologetic, finally unhooked from the idea that forgiveness equals reunion. Sometimes, forgiveness just means closing the ledger, never letting the debt drain you again. If you found this story powerful, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more real-life stories of betrayal, growth, and reclaiming your power.